Not surprised. I thought he would go in that direction. This is not at the point where we need to blow things up. You know, you look at the rest of the NFC East. Washington's going to have a new coach. Philly might have a new coach. We don't know what's going on in New York.
Yeah.
So the most stable team could be the Dallas Cowboys if they keep the same MO, same coach. And I think Jerry saw it that way. Him being the age that he is no time to blow up. Let's find out what the problem is. How come we can't get over that hump? How come we have success in the regular season and can't have it in the postseason? What's missing? Let's find out what that is. And the thing is, Mike, when you lose a tough game like that, a playoff game, in the NFL nowadays, it's such a transient league.
Yep.
Some of those players that felt that loss might not be there next season, so they don't prepare with that same motivation to get over that hump. So you got to take that in consideration. But I think Mr. Jones did the right thing in this situation and keeping McCarthy in that position.
You know how to win, Drew. You won a Super Bowl. What is wrong? I mean, I watched that Cowboys team so many times this year. I watched them as a Giants fan blow the doors off the Giants. I mean, dominant. What happened? Why, when the team gets in the playoffs, does it look like a completely different football team out there?
Well, Mike, because I'm not in the meetings and their preparation through the week, I have to notice things from what I see, from my perspective and my experience. But what I see is not the way they start the game. They don't seem to come out ready with the intensity, emotional level that you look at. I'm getting fired up just talking about it. Okay. The intensity, emotional level that you have to play in the NFL playoffs. Okay. If you don't bring that and your opponent brings it, then you're going to have a rough afternoon. And that's what happened in our last two playoff situations. San Francisco comes in here and they punch us in the mouth. We take it. We don't respond until late in the football game. And we even had a chance to still win it despite that. But then Green Bay comes in here. They're hungry. They're a young team. This is a team, Mike, that lost 8 football games during the season, okay? And they come in here ready because this is the new season. This is the playoffs. Green Bay history and all that was probably spoken to them and all that kind of stuff coming down on the airplane. And they came out ready to play. So that's the thing I noticed in those two ball games in the playoff situation with the Cowboys the last 2 years is the intensity, emotional level that they come into the game with that doesn't match their opponent's intensity, emotional level. And it's got to rise to a different peak, Mike, when you get to the playoffs. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I can hear the intensity in your voice, Drew, as you're talking about it. It actually makes me think of a halftime of the Cowboys game last weekend when Jimmy Johnson was speaking. And boy, you want to talk about getting fired up. Jimmy was fired up. Is the problem, and again, not being inside some of those meetings, Drew, I get that. I mean, is that the problem here? Is he a bad motivator of men? I mean, is that the issue?
A lot of times, Mike, you get in this situation. These guys are pros, okay? You're not even going to talk about the money they make and all that. You got to be ready. You got to do yourself, all right? Back in the day, Coach Landry was a disciplinarian, a tough guy and all that kind of stuff. But who policed the locker room? We policed the locker room, okay? We made sure that guy sitting next to me, whether Robert Newhouse or Walt Garrison or whoever it was ready to play that day. And guess what? They made sure I was ready. The way you approach, the way you practice, the way you approach your meetings, the way you answer questions in your meeting and all that kind of stuff, all was policed by the players. It doesn't matter what the head coach is. That Coach Landry wasn't that rah-rah guy. He ain't going to pull you up and all that kind of stuff. We had to get that ourselves. If McCarthy's not that guy, then the players have to get that themselves. They do a lot of talking in the press and the media, talk in the locker room, talk to each other, get each other fired up. I don't care about the press. I don't care about the fans. The fans will respond if you respond. So now I'm starting to sweat. I got to get some picture here. But, that's what I see.
Pumped up, too.
And I think a lot of the guys from my group and even the 90s group, like Michael, we text each other and, all that kind of stuff. They see the same thing. They see that lack of intensity level when you get to the playoff level. You got to bring it when you come to that level. So anyway, it has to be the players doing that. The coaching prepares you. You know, he gives you that confidence through the preparation with your game plan and all that stuff. It's up to you to get up to the emotional level it takes to win in the playoffs in the NFL.
I know you're getting me pumped up. I know you keep in contact, Drew, with the former players. What is the consensus amongst everybody? Is everyone really frustrated with the current group of guys? What are the former players saying when you're talking to Michael and guys like that?
Yeah, we get frustrated. There's no doubt about it. You know, we're Cowboy fans. We want them to do well. We want them to win, you know, have success every play, every situation. There's no question about that. So there's frustration there, you know, but, you know, we respect these guys out there on the field, okay? Because we played the game. We know how tough it is when you get between the sidelines of an NFL football game. You can't hide it. We know how tough that is. And we also know how tough it is to win in the NFL. So that's why everything's got to be working. And it seemed like this is going to be the year for the Cowboys. Look how that Detroit game turned out, you know? You know, we should have lost that game. In many ways, we should have lost that game, but we end up winning. Wow. And then Philly, you know, losing to the Giants. How we fall into the NFC East title, you know?
All worked. It seemed like it was all working out.
Right. These are kind of things that have to fall in place, Mike, when you on your course, on the way to a Super Bowl championship. And you look back and you remember, oh, that Detroit game. Oh, how Philly lost. And we got into NFC East and we had the home field for 2 games and stuff like that. But then you look back and say, now, wow, we blew that. We blew that opportunity. But the former players, we see that. We knew how to handle those kind of situations and we relished them because we worked to get ourselves in position to be in those situations. So that's how the former players feel about it. And, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but the ones I talk to and the ones I converse with and that type of thing, you know, we're just frustrated and we see things that we wish that we can get in there and maybe correct or tell them about and stuff like that. Get one of these, man. This is what it's all about.
I'm glad you said that, Drew. Does Jerry ever sort of ask you guys for your take or opinions or anything like that? Did that ever happen?
No. I wish. You'd hear me. I'm a motivator, you know?
I know it. That's
Mike
why I asked.
Charles Haley, those guys, you know, they're great motivators and they did their thing in the 90s, but we can do it too, okay? We can come in there and talk about the history, the foundation of what this is all about, what you're playing for as a Dallas Cowboy. You know, this ring, this is the second one in Cowboy history. I didn't play in the first one, but those 2 large diamonds, I benefited because they won the first one. If they win another one, it'll have 6 large diamonds. Mike, do they know that? I don't know if they know that even. But these are the things that we, part of the history of the Dallas Cowboys, can lend to these players. And maybe that would give them inspiration to even, you know, work a little harder to try to get over this hump and get us back into play, get us where we should be. The only reason people talk about the Cowboys the way they do and dog them when they lose like that, because they think we're supposed to be up there. You know, these are the Dallas Cowboys. These are the stars of the league. You know, we're supposed to be up here. So when we're not up here, people like to bash us and talk about us. And now we're here and not there. And now we're hitting all this criticism. And they want to fire McCarthy. They want to fire everybody. But, you know, we can't do that. We got to identify the problem and try to fix it. And let's keep moving forward with what we have. And, you know, shore up some positions, sure. Running back. We need a running back. We need a strong running game. No doubt about that. That should be the #1 priority. Go get James Conner from the Arizona Cardinals. That's a bad man. If we had a dude like that in our backfield. What about
Derrick Henry? Would you like Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry? Yeah, those kind of backs that can get respect and give respect instantly to the running game. And what does that do? Open up the rest of the passing game, the play action, which Dak does so well, all those kind of things we can do.
Talk to me about Dak. Drew, talk to me about Dak, because you've got people now, you know, bringing up Dak's record in the playoffs. The guy was an MVP candidate the entire year, most of the year, Drew. I mean, he played at an incredibly high level. Now you got people questioning if he's even the guy. Is Dak the quarterback for this Dallas Cowboys team? Should he be the quarterback? And is he the guy that you see still long-term in Dallas?
Without a doubt. I have no doubt about that. I know quarterbacks, okay?
I know it.
So Dak, I see Dak as a winner. There's no question. He is not the problem, okay?
Yeah.
He is not the problem, all right? Get people around him. Get that offensive line shored up. Get the running game shored up. Get a defense that can give him good field position so that we can move the football and don't have to go the length of the field every time we take the football over and things like that. He's your quarterback. Build around him. Build around him. Who you going to go get? Who's out there, Mike? You're going to go through the draft and get somebody, the free agency. There's no one. This is your guy. Make it happen with him. And he's good enough to make it happen. And Dak can throw to me anytime. Every time I see him, I tell him, I tell Troy Aikman that. Roger gets jealous, but I tell them all that. They can all throw to me, but Dak can bring it because, CD Lamb, the great season he had, a lot of it is because Dak Prescott being his quarterback. So let's keep him there and build around him and continue to make him the focal point, but give him the weapons he needs on offense so that not just Dak can be successful, but the whole offense can be successful. Good hood.
I'll get you out of here on this one, Drew. Did you ever think about the possibility when you hear Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots? Did you think, could this work? Might it be a possibility? Jerry Jones, Bill Belichick in Dallas with the Cowboys. Did you think about that? And is there any chance that ever would have happened?
You know what I thought, Mike? I hope not. I hope not. Okay. Yeah. Bill Belichick, much respect, but he's not the man for the Dallas Cowboys. He would be a Band-Aid, okay? Not the solution. He's just a Band-Aid to overcome this and, get the press and all of a sudden Belichick and all that. No. Pete Carroll, Band-Aid. If you want to go make a coaching situation, the only guy I would go after is that guy in Michigan, Harbaugh. He's a great coach. He's young enough. Somebody can build something on, build around. If you want to empty the bank on him. If you're not going to go after him and bring him in, then stick with the guy you got, McCarthy. He's proven winner. Let's figure out what it takes to help him and the rest of his organization get over the hump. But no, Belichick, it's time for him to retire, first of all. Second of all, I hope he doesn't go into TV, okay? That would be like, oh, man.
It'd be boring.
We're like falling asleep listening to him.